Dear participants, today we have gathered over here on this online platform as to discuss about integrating green studies into the curriculum. So we do have the resource person of SNTTC, Miss Chitra Parashar with us, who has a vast experience of 10 years in teaching with her qualifications as MSc Physics and B.Ed. So she works for Vidyaniketan schools in Delhi. So without taking much more time off you all, let me quickly give away the screen to Miss Chitra. The screen is all yours, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Good evening to all. Thank you, sir. Uh, Good evening, group members. As sir has introduced, today's topic is green skill in secondary education. So this is regarding knowing about me. Sir has already informed you that I have experience in teaching of the right subjects. I have been teaching AI and I have taught physics. I am teaching right now science and maths. So the topic which I have taken up today is green skills in education. So first, let us watch this video and let us, let us link why we are actually into this topic. So can you please play the video? Sir, I share this. Yes. In the meanwhile, the group members, may I know what are green skills? Anyone who has read about it? What do we mean by green skills?
What are green skills? Green skills are skills that promote economic growth while protecting the environment. As we combat climate change and aim for carbon neutrality, innovation in science and technology is essential, and green skills are the key to achieving this. Why do we need green skills? Every day, we witness unusual phenomena such as extreme temperatures, floods, wildfires, and more. We are making efforts in our daily lives to reduce carbon emissions. The urgency lies in the fact that we don't have much time left. If we fail to limit the global temperature rise to 1.5 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels, we will face a climate catastrophe that could devastate our planet. To make a difference now, we need a game-changing solution, and green skills hold the key. What are some examples of green skills? Let's explore green skills in 3 different categories. Technical skills, operation management skills, and communication and education skills. Going carbon neutral requires not only hard skills like engineering, but also soft skills such as education and communication. In the US, advanced industries are developing technologies in renewable energy, ecosystem restoration, and green construction. Europe, on the other hand, is known for its progressive environmental policies. The European Union member states adopted the European Climate Act in 2021, setting the goal of achieving carbon neutral by 2050. This was the first time that carbon neutrality has ever been written into law. Europe is also a leader in circular economy practices, green transportation, and biotechnology. Climate change knows no borders. To achieve carbon neutrality, the entire world must work together. Many countries lack the resources and technology to take immediate action, so international cooperation in green skills is essential to support them. Even as we speak, the Earth's temperature is setting new highs. There is no doubt that green skills are essential for overcoming climate change and building a sustainable future. As we embark on this journey, countries with advanced technologies can act as guides, helping us navigate toward a sustainable and carbon-neutral world. Together, as one species, we can successfully complete this journey.
Thank you, sir. Can we have the presentation back? Okay, so group members, as we have just now watched a video regarding this, and you all must be relating this with your individual subjects which you all have been teaching. So, green skills is a very hot topic of the global community. We have been reading a lot about it. Green skills, green SDGs, we all have been quite often hearing about. So, I have picked this topic specially because in school education, especially in secondary education, this is very, very important nowadays for us to impart this education to school students. So, coming to the basics first, what are green skills? The specialized skills which are important for building or developing sustainable green economy are called the green skills. So now comes the question, what is sustainable green economy? So as written in this slide, we all can read this. Green economy means low carbon, resource efficient, and socially inclusive economy. So I hope all of us are able to decode all these words. We mean, what do we mean by low carbon? What do we mean by resource efficient? And what do we mean by socially inclusive economy? Can I have anyone reflecting on this from the group? Anyone who is aware that what do we mean by socially inclusive, resource efficient, and low carbon? Anyone amongst the group member want to share their knowledge regarding this? Subhashini ma'am, I can just Anita Bhatt ma'am. Okay, Madhu Priya ma'am, am I audible? Madhu Priya ma'am. Okay, Anita Bhatt ma'am, I can hear you. Yes, anyone who
You are audible, ma'am, but I don't have any knowledge about that.
Okay, you don't have any knowledge. Anyone who has who can like share any general awareness we have regarding all these three words which I've just read about: low carbon, resource efficient, and socially inclusive. Anyone in this meeting? Okay. Okay, chalo, let me explain. Green economy, as I've said, low carbon. Low carbon means the carbon which any economy, any country is emitting. The global goal is that whatever economic activities we are doing on a daily basis in whichever sector has to be producing lowest carbon possible. Okay, industrially we also produce carbon, and various transportation sector, then energy sector, everywhere carbon is being emitted. So the global goal is that it should be the lowest emission of carbon. Then resource efficient. This implies that the renewable resources should be emphasized upon and non-renewable resources should be reduced. So efficiency of the resources is a focus. And socially inclusive means all sectors of the environment, all sector of the the earth. Okay, all the ecology of the earth should be taken care of while doing economic activities. So social inclusive means not only human, even the other environmental components should be taken care of. The lithosphere, the hydrosphere, the atmosphere, everything should be taken care of. So ultimately, the goal is to create a healthy earth by adopting sustainable development. Can we have the next slide, please? Sir, if I'm audible, can we go to the next slide, please? Okay, so what is UNEP, United Nations Environment Program, says about it? It is one that results in improved human well-being and social equity. while significantly reducing environmental risk and ecological scarcities. So ultimately, it is again the low carbon, resource efficient, and social inclusive. So these are the three keywords which we are taking away from the United Nations Environment Programme's definition of green economy. That is human well-being, overall global human well-being, along with social equity, is the emphasis of this green economy. So next slide, please. Now coming to the next related concept, that is what is sustainable development. So according to Brundtland report, which gave up this concept in 1980s, it said that development that meets the need of present generation without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. This we all are aware. We have been reading this since our school days also, and we have been continuously, this domain of knowledge which we have been gathering. We have been teaching this also. We have been continuously emphasized by CBSE also to, discuss about SDGs, impart that knowledge about SDGs. So sustainable development we all have been aware of. Now, what is the purpose? The purpose is to keep a balance between economic, environmental, and social needs. So whatever education field we belong to, you may be a facilitator of maths, you may be a facilitator of economics, you may be a facilitator of even arts, whatever subject you are teaching, we all are imparting that knowledge to the students so that they build their career in that particular field, and whatever they go ultimately to make their career in, their focus, whatever work they will be doing in their life, their focus should be to make a balance between their economic activity, to keep the environment also intact, as well as the social needs of his society, as well as the society in which he is living, as well as the society for which he is working. That all has to be balanced. So we all have been, as I've just now said, we all have been reading about SDGs, the all 17 goals, which ultimately is a universal approach for improving our world. Next slide, please. So can we please switch to the next slide? Yes. So here we all are aware of these SDGs. Among the 20 participants we are having, excluding me and sir, can anyone name these SDG? This is a tree which is depicted here in the picture. The topmost is a yellow one depicting these are the pictorial representation of the SDGs. So it's being represented as, you can say, fruit of the seeds which we are growing right now. Every branches is reflecting as the growth, if in sustainable way we are trying to do. So anyone, can you tell about what is the middlemost, the red one, the one in red, what does this depict? What does this depict? The red one, which is showing an equal to sign and a few arrows up, down, here and there. Anyone, can you please relate this with this? What is this SDG depicting? Okay, this one which is showing the book. Can we just name this SDG? All of you, I hope.
Is it
Yes.
equality everywhere? Equality in all sectors?
Yes, you are very close, ma'am. It is equality. It is actually reduced inequality.
Okay.
This is depicting reduced inequality. The inequality has to be reduced. And what about this leftist most with the bowl sign?
Which one?
The leftist most in yellow with a bowl sign and few.
Related to
This
food
one.
production?
Are you able to know?
I think it could mean,
no, it is not
looks
food,
like food. So
Food
maybe
production.
hunger and poverty.
Poverty.
Yes, you are right. Now it is zero hunger. And this one, which is in red, which is depicting three people, a mother, father, and a child. So it is depicting that there should be no poverty, the first SDG. So all these, this one, lowest one, blue, it is depicting that, we should be aiming for clean water and sanitation. This one at the leftist most top corner, this is depicting gender equality. This one. This is depicting gender equality, means we should be aiming about, you know, reducing the inequality, aiming towards equality, good education, no poverty, zero hunger. This is what the SDGs aim at. So all the 17 SDGs we have been reading about, we have been relating in our school curriculum very quite often. And we have been, CBSE is also emphasizing, all of us are, these are our buzz topics of the day. But have we ever gone into introspection? Why are we so much emphasizing on SDGs? Yes, sustainable development is an agenda, but how is it related to the green skills? That is what I wish to explain to you all today. That because our purpose is to achieve green economy by using green skills, so sustainable development is the way forward. Is the route through which we can achieve green economy. So in order to achieve that, we need to know about green skills. What are they? What all we can, learn in it, and how can we impart that to our students? Yes, ma'am. Very good. Prosperous future. Very good. Can we move to the next slide, sir? Yes, green skills in secondary education. Now, these are few articles which I have gone through, like why, in India, especially in secondary education, this is a very recent article of April 14th, as mentioned here. So, Education Times, it is depicting why future of climate education in India and its role in green careers through certification. Here in this article, what has been depicted that in India, though we are having all the specific domains of degrees and the certifications and diplomas all there, but nowadays the future is lying in building career in green economy sectors by learning through certifications or through skill education, which government is emphasizing, so that our present generation as well as the future generation is aware how we can impart these, how we can actually inculcate these green skills in our daily life. Now, going to the next slide. So, can we switch to the next, please? Thank you. Now, this is another article, the importance of green skills among youth in India. So, green skills, the youth of nowadays, you just pose this question to your particular students. So, please, a back slide. Thank you. So, maybe come back to the presentation, please. Thank you. So this article I was discussing that what is the importance of developing green skills among youth in India. This particular article, these topic is in news also nowadays, that why we in India need to impart these green skills to our future generation. And for doing that, we first need to be aware what is to be, which particular domain and which particular aspect of that skill we need to impart to our students at secondary level, because below that they are just building up on the concepts of what is environment and what is the need to save it, and above it they are having their own particular domains of sciences or commerce or arts to study, and there is a need between that in the secondary age, so that along with their subjects, along with their studies, they are able to relate, and they are able to actually apply the knowledge which they are gaining in schools. Next slide, please, sir. Now, let's coming to the core topic of the day. That is, what is the need of green skill in secondary education? So, first, it is solution to the climate change coming from those who are technically skilled, nature-loving, resilient, and willing to roll up the sleeves on the job. So that is what I mean to say, that we need to give to the students, our generation, to impart this knowledge. We need to give back this thing that there is a necessity now to for you to be environment resilient. for you to be taking up this job to, apply green skills. So for that, we need to introduce them what are green skills and how they can actually practically, by just doing simple things in their daily lives, apply not only sustainable development, but are also saving the resources to which we have been living or to which they have to live in future. A fact which is kept over here is that 50% of the Indians are under the age of 25, of which 10 to 15% of students drop out from the secondary and senior secondary school, and an additional 10% are enrolled in diploma and certificate programs. So by this, I simply mean to convey this fact to you that the demographic dividend of India is huge. In simplest language, we can say that India is a young nation. We are having a lot of youth who are 30 to 40 years going to build the nation, who are going to, forefront of the economic activity. So they need to be aware at this very time, in this very years of 25, 30, before India 2030 agenda of which we have seen that. So at in these 4 5 years, we need to, make our present generation aware what has also be done in the upcoming decades and why there is a necessity to be aware of the green skills. So can we have the next slide, please? Okay. Now, what is the need of in India specifically? India has observed a significant temperature of 0.15 degrees centigrade per decade since 1950. And according to a 2020 assessment by Ministry of Earth Sciences, this has dire implications for ecosystem, agriculture, and human health. Now, these are facts being put up over here. I asked you as resident of whichever state you are in India, are you not observing, abrupt changes in the weather, abrupt changes in the, climate over your area, sudden rainfall, sudden rise in temperature, sudden, changes in your adaptation to the environment, the way diseases used to behave. Are you not observing all these things? I hope you must have been. Can I have a quick discussion on this with my participants? Yes, anyone who wishes to share how abruptly in their particular state they have been observing different weather changes and different climate changes which are happening. Anyone needs to share with me?
I think Bangalore is a classic example. I mean,
Ma'am,
when we had
please
come, when we first moved to Bangalore in 2003 or 4, I can't remember, then even then it had such a beautiful climate, you know, and we even in the summer months we would not sweat, you know, there was hardly any sweating or some such. But nowadays it we've had to buy ACs. I mean, there's a sudden people are making a beeline for buying ACs because there is this change in temperature, there's this rise in temperature which is extremely observable. I mean, Bangalore is no longer that cool haven that it used to be once, and it's significantly gone up. The temperature has significantly gone up. Even the monsoons that we used to enjoy, it has now, never in time. If you notice, it is gradually moving months. You know, just the other day, I was listening to some expert speaking on this, that how the monsoons are also shifting. It is going, moving to the beyond the monsoon time. So yeah, these changes are quite noticeable.
Thank you, Nandita ma'am. So, like all of us, whether in any part of India, the north, the south, even like even if you visit the northernmost states, there also there is a change in weather. So, what we all have been observing throughout is that due to climate change globally, obviously every country is getting affected, and country like India, which are geographically located in such a if we go, and I don't want to deviate from the topic, but if I tell you, actually, this is all due to atmospheric circulations and all the location of the country. Our country is not landlocked. We are surrounded by oceans on three sides. So all this is the climate change is affecting the, the bordering oceanic the states which are near the oceans in India. So every part of the country is getting affected, even in landlocked states inside India like MP. There is a huge surge in temperature. So we all have been observing that yes, temperature rises there, as ma'am has just now discussed that we all have been seeing that surge in AC everybody is buying, but we are not aware that AC is not the solution. By buying ACs, we are again contributing to emissions of CFCs in the environment, and again we are coming back to the same vicious cycle. So we are not going to the solution. So the problem is that there is a lack of awareness what is to be done, how it is to be done. That is why globally there is an alarming call that we need to work upon these sectors, especially to to we cannot stop climate change, but we can at least shift to a better way of living so that we are not contributing to more carbon emissions globally. So that is why we are switching to green economy, green skills everywhere. Everywhere there is this discussion is going on in every sector. So that is why in India especially, government is emphasizing in school education these skills have to be imparted. So can we move to the next slide, please? Now, these skills encompass technical knowledge, practical competencies, and mindsets required to implement sustainable practices, environmentally friendly technologies, and resource efficient solutions across various sectors, as I have just now explained. So now, what do green skills do? They empower individuals to make sustainable choices, address pressing environmental concerns, and are especially crucial for youngsters who will drive the global shift towards sustainability. So that is what I mean to convey through this particular session, that there is an urgent need for us also to be aware regarding these things, and whichever subject we are taking, whatever work area we are in, even if we are not educators, as a parent also, as a aware citizen of this country, we need to be aware, and we need to sensitize our surrounding towards the necessity of these things, to live better in the upcoming years. So can we switch to the next slide, please? Now, the last point, in India, approximately 20% of the workforce is already employed in green jobs. Okay, so Government of India, as we have through our cultural, upbringing, we all have been aware that we are a country which, nurtures their natural resources. We have been worshipping the rivers. We have been worshipping the mountains and trees and whatnot. So it is our cultural heritage that we have been, habitual of living in such a life which was nature friendly. But nowadays, just past 30, 40 years shift in modernization, we have come to, you can say we are just falling down the well, and our good old practices we have forgotten, and we are shifting towards, a what should I say, a world in which we are digging a hole for ourselves. So government is now trying to emphasize we should be switching towards green jobs. Now, what are green jobs that I am going to come to very soon? 20% of workforce is already employed. What about the remaining 80%? The 20% who are employed and who are trying their level best through their work to mitigate this change, which other 80% is producing, or other 80% is emitting in this country. So it's very less comparatively. We should be having a ratio that more than 60% is working towards green jobs, and the rest 40% which are not there in green jobs, they are actually then they are driving the economy. So the driver should be the green economy. That is how we can be able to at least balance the things out. This situation, I think we need to move up the ladder. So a number which is expected to double by 2030 as per the SDG, which is India's agenda. Now, this growing demand for green skilled labor or workers presents a unique opportunity to harness the country's demographic dividend. So, as the discussion on this session, this is the need why we need to, skill ourselves toward the green skills. So, next slide, please. Now, what is Government of India? What are the initiatives government has taken? So there are green skill development programs which government has been advertising, government has been informing. This is not recent. This has been going on since past 7-8 years since I have been tracking this. And these are wonderful programs. But the only bottleneck which I feel, the only problem which is there is lack of awareness amongst the citizens. Now, what is this GSDP aims at? It aims to address skill gaps in the economy by providing training in environmental, forest, and wildlife sectors. So this is a link which I have shared over here. You can visit the sites, Ministry of Environment and Forest, and it is discussing about the green skill development programs. You all can go to this link, government website, and just explore what government wishes to share through these programs. So next slide, please. So can we switch to the next slide, please? Okay, green skills in secondary education. Now, in secondary education, as I have discussed till now, green skills, these are the soft skills which are most necessary skills required by secondary school to enter the workforce, which refers to as behavioral skills. So these are this is not any knowledge domain or any particular exam which a student must give to gather this knowledge. This has to be incorporated in their behavior, in their living, in their, in their understanding the way they have to start living their lives henceforth. So these are the moral values. It's about someone's good activities where it's becoming part and parcel of their individual characteristics. So can we have the next slide, please? Now let's recap. So can we? Okay. So what you as an educator advise your learners to do as part of inculcating green skills in their lives? So you please think for 2 minutes and tell me what you as an educator of whichever subject, whichever domain you have been teaching, after this half-an-hour session, what you can tell to your learners that how they can inculcate green skills in their particular life, what you can advise to them. Please think for a minute, and then we can discuss upon it. Anyone who wishes to lead can just start over. We are having 22 participants. Anyone who wishes to share their advice, how they can inculcate, how they can advise their students to inculcate these green skills in their daily life, in school or at their home. Anyone wishes to share?
I think one way to, foster green skills is by including them in the activities. Like when we do have a lot of activities in CBSE. So, by incorporating these, so it can be anything. It can be environmental, or it can be what we do inside our homes, right? So based on the chapter that we are doing, or based on the theme, we can include those in the activities and, take it forward.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, Nandita, ma'am. And I'm able to read another participant has replied that reduce the use of artificial things. Very good. So, actually, how as okay, ma'am, you have discussed about CBSE and the activities which CBSE wishes us to, tell the students, or we have been doing that. The environment day and earth day and all these days we have been celebrating. We have been asking our students to reduce pollutions, reduce save water, save energy, all these things we have been doing. We have been telling even at our home also, but as a facilitator, as an educator, see, let me tell you a few examples how we can tell our learners to inculcate these habits. For example, suppose we pledge of reducing plastic pollution. So we can tell the children, school children, for example, yes, go green, alternative options. Yes, very, very relatable. So what we can do, we can tell them, so suppose they wishes to reduce plastic, what they can do, whatever plastic material they have been using, say their pens, even their, plastic, even these, packets, the wrappers, the chips, the toffees, the chocolates, they have been having this on daily basis. So have we ever thought, why can't we ask them to not, not throw that in the garbage as if, and just segregate that, so that it could be, it could be sent to the recycle option, rather than just going into the garbage, which is another hassle, where garbage segregation is another problem. Just simple plastics which we have been using, because it is not segregated at the first end where it is getting produced, is going to the oceans and affecting oceanic life. Huge piles of garbage is lying up in oceans around the world, because of which, these oceanic cycles are getting disturbed, because of which the climate change is happening. The simple activity of, segregating the plastic waste which they are producing on daily basis can help in contributing to green economy. Then another ways are like, you know they have been, say for example, food which we are having. So food which we are having, we have been, hearing about the programs. Okay, restaurant people, they are, sending the leftover food to the hungry people. So any NGOs, they are taking up these initiatives to pick up those things and, share to the needies. So we have this first SDG as no poverty, and second as zero hunger, no poverty. We can on our end also help in achieving that. How? We can actually, the food which is left over at our own home, or for example the kitchen peels, everybody is having fruits, everybody is having vegetable on daily basis. If the kitchen peels also we are collecting on daily basis, and we are, giving it to the stray animals around, and feeding it to the birds around. So that leftover food is one, taken out of the environment from the waste, and second, it is feeding someone, which is another life around in the environment, and that life is very well relatable. Even if it is not human, they are also part of the environmental cycle. They are also very important for us. So likewise, if we start thinking that is a waste for us, we could have very well thrown it in the bin which we have been throwing otherwise. But if we think this way, that the daily peels, the daily leftover food, if we are, on our own through our efforts, diverting that to a needy. So I understand it's take efforts, but we have to plan our own ways, how we from our home. Charity begins at home. So if we start these simple things, tell our children that at home also, in school also, if it is left over, don't throw it away. If you can give it to some hungry people while going back to home, very good. Otherwise, you give it to stray dogs. If you are not having that food, please don't throw it away. If you're having that, well done, very good. You should not be like, leaving your tiffin box like that. But if it is left over, you're not wishing to have it, willing to have it, you better give it to someone who is needy. So these are the simple things and ways, and there's so many other ways: saving water, saving electricity. When one light can do, why have we switched on two lights? These we have been telling, but practically, how much are we vigilant as educators to, make that as a habit, as a behavioral, thing which students inculcate in their life? That is what I wish to convey. So can we have a next slide, please? Sir, yes, thank you. So now coming to what is NEP talking about green skills. So I'm not going into depth into this. I'm just emphasizing the main bullet points which NEP is highlighting regarding green skills. NEP is telling it the emphasis on sustainability. Obviously, sustainable growth is the only way forward. SDGs is the emphasis of the day. We have targeted 2030 as the agenda for SDG in India. Though we are, trying our level best, solar energy is, we are happening to see, solar panels and, e-vehicles, all these things are, buzz of the day we are seeing all these things. So how much can we change our lives from energy feeding to energy saving? So that is what NEP is emphasizing. The next is green skill integration. Now, as I've discussed, I hope in last 40 minutes, whatever we discussed, some of the green skills I hope I am able to convey to you. So how much are we integrating that into our behavioral daily life, whether we are in workplace, whether we are at home, whichever place we are at, we should be thinking out how to live sustainably. Then skill council for green jobs. This is what NEP is discussing about, that we have skill councils through which these skills certifications are rolled out, so that people can get enrolled and get certified in these things and get more aware. And so that if you are aware, you can make others also aware regarding this important thing. So a crucial role in developing qualifications and training programs tailored to the green economy. That is what Skill Council is emphasizing upon. Then NEP is also discussing about the academic curriculum changes. We have been seeing, have you ever gone through, like, I don't know whether it is incorporated in your particular school or not. There is a particular subject for green skills which CBSE has introduced very recently. And in all the curriculums, CBSE is trying to incorporate a single chapter, if at least, emphasizing upon the green skills. So can we have the next slide, please? Okay, so NEP 2020, it is interconnected with green skills through promotion of sustainability and integration of green skills into various educational programs. The NEP aims to equip the future workforce with the skills needed to thrive in a green economy, which includes areas like renewable energy, environmental conservation, and sustainable practices. So NEP is also emphasizing, that is why CBSE is trying to make the educators of the day, the teachers, the principals, the facilitators around to become more aware, not only at school level, at higher education level, also at even in industrial level. The government, through various programs and schemes, government is trying to link the gaps, and bridge courses are being provided to make the citizens aware about the green skills. So can we have the next slide, please? So the last point which green skill is emphasizing about is practical experience. So the importance of practical experience for students, for encouraging internship, apprenticeship, and partnership with green industry sectors. So now what we are seeing this change, we are also becoming aware for the past 4-5 years. Then parallelly, higher education institutions also have to become aware at a higher level, and parallelly the industry is also getting aware and incorporating these skills in their particular way of producing and selling. So parallelly all this is happening. So if the students, they are encouraged to go for internship, if certifications, if we as educators, as facilitators are going under for certifications of these courses, it is going to fulfill that target of the government, bridging that gap. So we are gaining the knowledge and transferring that to our schools, or to our communities, wherever like we are living, to our if we are say teaching in higher education institutions, we can convey this to our college students who are very near to go to industry. So likewise, we can also help in bridging that gap. Can we move to the next slide, please, sir? Now, what are the government initiatives which Government of India wishes to take as far the education is concerned? So NEP emphasizes vocational education, allowing students to gain skills relevant to industries, including those in green sectors. So green sector education, like there is, as mentioned in the second point here in the slide, that Indo-German Green Skills Program. These also are tie-ups between different institutes and different universities of the world has happened, which have which have worked in that sector, which have actually produced results, be it solar energy, be it hydro energy, be it e-vehicle industry sector, be it waste to better from waste, So whatever sector, whichever country, global best practices, Government of India wishes to, pick up, and with these partnership, they are trying to, inculcate and give these things to the Indian youth. That is what the government aims at. So this Indo-German Green Skill Program, it collaborates with German institutions to develop green skills in India, focusing on curriculum development and trainer capacity building, particularly in areas like e-vehicles and photovoltaics, because Germany is advancing in e-vehicle sector. So we have been seeing many e-vehicles launched being nearby us. So that is what government tries to inculcate through this. So can we have the next slide, please? Now, this is the circulars which CBSE have been rolling out quite often. I've just shared this. There's a link mentioned over here at the bottom. So I've just shared this. You have been seeing this quite often through your schools, that how CBSE is also emphasizing for us as educators to get trained in green skills, to ask our students, encourage them to know more about it, to create awareness programs, to discuss on daily basis what and how they have. See, first we have to ask them for ideas, and in a quarter or monthly we can discuss collectively what all ideas they have generated in their particular colony, in their particular neighborhood, how they have applied these skills. So collectively we can bring new ideas, and that can become a best practice of that particular region. So likewise we have to learn and grow collectively. So can we have a next slide, please? Now coming to this green jobs, as I have been discussing, green skills need to be incorporated. So after learning these green skills, how our present generation as well as future generations, where are they going to land up? After attaining these skills, obviously they would be inquiring about. We also are into it is we also are questioning that, okay, what are we going to land up if we happen to get a certification, happen to know more about these green skills, where are we going to land up in? So the basic sectors which are lined up are like solar energy sectors, not only panel installations, like we are but aiming at is developing solar driven transportation sectors also. Then environmental scientist, obviously. Then recycling and waste manager, that is another domain which needs the future waste managers, because we have to balance out both things. Waste has to be reduced, and sustainable practices has to be increased to balance out the wrong which has been done in past half a century. Then we can become green constructionist, then sustainability supervisor to advise the companies how we can bring about sustainable development. E-vehicle engineers or e-vehicle sector is another domain where we can land up in. And green architects, so building green buildings and green areas. So how can all these above sectors being applied in a particular landscape, so green architectures can be built. Can we have a next slide, please, sir? So coming to the conclusion of today's session, green skills, hence we can, I hope for the last 40-45 minutes we have been discussing about what are green skills, how are they relevant to us, how are we as we can play our role as an educator to impart those skills. So conclusively we can say green skills are very important for the country to grow sustainably, and hence empower its youth, especially at the level of secondary education, to gather these soft skills which are essential for the survival of them as well as the future generations to come. So this is a necessity of the hour. We need to be aware first, then we need to impart at the level which we are teaching, at the level how we can make them aware about these skills, and then accordingly how we can grow all together to change our behavior and improve our practices to live more sustainably for the well-being of ourselves as well as the future generations. That's all for today's session. May I have a quick discussion on what we have understood today? Thank you, Benya ma'am. Can we have a quick discussion on anything you wish to ask me regarding this particular topic which we have discussed today, or any general query which we can have? Yes, any participant wishes to discuss anything, we can discuss that. Thank you, Jayashree ma'am. So we can have a general discussion, like I can tell you many more ways how we can incorporate these in particular subjects, say like whatever subject we have been dealing with at whichever level. So we can incorporate that not as a subject specific skills, but as a general behavioral way to impart these to our students and to our children at home also, and to our community in which we are living. So anyone who wishes to share?
May I, ma'am?
Yes, sure, ma'am. Jayashree ma'am, please continue.
Ma'am, I teach English subject in my school, but first time attended your session regarding the environment. But the session is, I want to share my views on this session. The session was very interactive and very knowledgeful. First time I have attended, and I gained some knowledge about the environment. And as you were discussing something, some important points, about the environment, and how can we improve the environment session and the skills in the students also. Okay. And I attended first time as a wonderful session, ma'am.
So Jayashree ma'am, how are you planning to advise to your students as teacher of English? So hopefully summer holidays are upcoming. So what have you planned? Just after the session, you can ponder over and just advise to your students as a teacher of English. What can you ask them to do as an activity during their holidays in the scorching heat which is going to come? How can the student apply these green skills in their daily behavior?
Ma'am, according to me, they need to grow more plants at their homes, and they can share their views in the written form, how they planted the plants and how they cared for the environment, and they can share their views in the written form so that they can improve the English, and they can share their knowledge with the other students also. Okay, and with the parents. Okay, they can aware their parents also.
Sure, ma'am. So, yes, you can ask them to write also. You can even
Yeah,
ask the student.
Tomorrow, I have given some activity to my students to make the bird feeders. Okay.
Very,
They are making the bird feeders for the environment, a safe environment, and we are very careful about the other animals like birds and other surrounded by us.
yes, ma'am. So that is how, very wonderful idea you have given to them. So, bird feeder, we are caring about the birds and the animals around. And alongside
Mm.
that, you can ask them to just visit in their vicinity, in the nearby area around their own houses, and they can just, write down 4 or 5 problem areas which they happen to see, be it the garbage pile up, or be it the, there are no water for the animals, then it could be the pollution in that area. So let them just jot down the problems first, then they will come
Yes.
up with the ideas how to solve them sustainably, how they can apply. Then the next session, say in winter time, you can ask them the problems which they have identified individually, how are they going to solve them. So this is
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
likewise, they are going to relate their individual problem, and they are going to give up the ideas. That is how solution is going to turn up. Individually at the regional level, students are going to bring ideas, and then as a teacher can discuss upon and then guide them further how they can go about practically applying those ideas on ground. That is the way you can proceed further, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Sure, ma'am. Very good, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Anyone else who wishes to share?
Good evening, ma'am. Ma'am,
Thank you,
being a
Swash.
maths teacher, I have given the activity to the students that they have to feed the animals, take care of the birds, like whatever, like cow or the all the herbivorous animals, whatever they are giving the grains. They have to measure the quantity and they have to represent in the form of a pie chart. That what is the quantity they are feeding to the animals, birds, grass to the cows and all. So that has to be represented in the form of a pie chart. So they will learn the concept of the percentage also, the quantity also, the different measures, and they have to give the conversions, like the conversions between the kg, milligram, gram. So they will come to know, have the better idea about. So this is basically an art integrated activity.
Okay, well done, ma'am. Very good. So your idea like is very much linked with what ma'am has just discussed, feeding the animals. But whenever we give such activity where student needs to go out and feed animals, see cats and dogs, we understand. But when it comes to feeding a cow, parents also are like hesitant to send their child near animal. It may
No,
hit
ma'am,
their
nearby.
child.
It is a group activity, ma'am. So whatever ideas they will be having, they will be linking that to a one particular project, like 8 to 9 students group pyramid. So whatever is possible for them, accordingly they will be doing.
Okay, that's wonderful. And additional to this, ma'am, you can also like advise them. So they are daily taking bath, okay, and daily they are drinking glass of milk, okay. So while drinking milk, that is going to give them energy. But while taking bath, how much water usage they are having? Are they saving water or are they wasting water? So towards it, you can just
Okay,
link
yes, yes.
SDG, clean water and sanitation. So
Yes, ma'am.
SDG two particular subject, and then you can ask them, okay, one day you have used one bucket full of water. Next day, when it was the temperature rose,
Okay.
you have been using 2 buckets. So are you saving? Or if you wishes to use, how can you save water? That use water, say which is so you say your mother has washed some fruits or vegetables
Mhm.
with
So
that
how
water.
it can be utilized?
So you can tell them how they can
Yes,
save
ma'am.
water. So likewise, you can ask them to measure that quantity and then record that, and accordingly be more vigilant and cautious of their own habit of whatever they are doing, drinking, eating, whatever
Mhm.
quantities they have been using in their daily lives. They can accordingly decide upon by applying the mathematical skills, cautiously do whatever they have been doing. So that
Yes,
is
ma'am.
take that in your lessons, ma'am. Thank you, Pooja, ma'am. So
Thank you,
I
ma'am.
believe, thank you, ma'am. Anyone else who wishes to share? So then we can just wind up the session. We are already 5 minutes ahead. Anyone else?
Yes, I believe everyone has enjoyed the session. It's time that we wind up today's session, and yes. So, dear all, thank you so much for joining us, and lots of appreciations to Ms. Chitra Parashar for coming up with such a unique topic, which has
So,
never happened on the platform of SNTTC. Keep up the good work, ma'am. Looking forward for much more, like sessions like this from you. And for the people who wish to get a certificate, as you know, you need to pay rupees 50, 990-892-5730. I have written the number in the chat box. You need to pay rupees 50 towards this number through GPay, PhonePe, or Paytm, and send a screenshot along with your name. Within 24 hours, you shall get your certificate. That's how it is. So, thank you one and all for joining us. Let's meet in the upcoming sessions again. Thank you, everyone.